At the beginning of the movie, Breslin goes to jail, and he is preparing to escape from there. At that moment, outside the jail, a car blasts. Then the fire brigade came. After that, Breslin wears a dress similar to that of a fire brigade. He sits in the car with his friends who blast the car, and after some time, they leave him. Then, the police vehicles came and saw Breslin. At that time, Breslin was talking to someone at the telephone booth, and he said showtime.
Showtime.
After this, the police once again arrested Breslin, and then here a man came and he shows some papers to the police. This man's name was Lester Clark, and in the next moment, it is shown that Breslin and Clark are with the jail warden in his room and tells that we are independent security company, and this is my partner, no need to panic. He escaped from 14 jails.
For the last 7 years, Ray has been inserted into every maximum incarceration.
Then Breslin says how he escaped from the jail. They got a good amount of money for this. After escaping the jail, they do another meeting with Breslin, Clark, and his entire team. One lawyer from the CIA comes. Her name is Jessica Miller.
Jessica Mayer, it's an honor to meet you.
Some people have made such a jail for you, which any government of any country doesn't want, because they are not fit to live in society, but the people who are investing money in this entire project in this jail, first of all, want to confirm whether this jail is so safe or not that no one can escape from here. And that's why we want to hire you for this work. So that you go here and see if there is any way to escape from there. And for this work, he will be given $5 million, which is double his fee. This prison is not an official prison. That's why no person knows anything about this jail. And the biggest problem is that when he goes to this jail, no one from his team will know where Breslin is. He has gone because the team does not want him to go on this mission, but okay, I will work out that the complete identity of his crime for which he is in jail is completely plotted. He is told that your name will not be in length, and the last 10 years. In all the bomb blasts in Europe, you had made all those worms. On this charge, you will be put in jail. Whoever's name is there, the rap comes down, and if there is any problem, then you tell him your question. You will be jailed.
When do we start?
The question comes as if they come to know that the one whose name is here is from the government and released him from jail, but before leaving from here, put the member of his team and the one whose name is in his body. So that its location can be known, this does not happen, but you do not want to take any kind of risk, and you leave from here and are put in a regular car. And after sitting in the car, that transmitter is removed from the body. His team is put in his body. These people first know that his body has a transmitter, and now his team cannot find out where he is because they are not getting the red signal from the car. If there is a break, then anyone here is kept during all the efforts. And at the same time, people living here who have cameras installed on them, who are watching every moment, and who always have masks on their faces to know who comes at what time. And the one who is appointed here, the name of the warden is Hobbs.
I'm Warden Hobbs.
And he asks him where the warden marsh is and tells him that there are no marsh named warden here. Breslin tells him, this is my question, 3102-75. What do...
310275.
You think that you will tell me I will fly like a free bird?
I'll carry you free as a bird.
This will never happen, and you will have to live here in this jail with me for your whole life. The next day, because inside here, rats have a place to roam, and then they attack the screen and want to attack each other. Arnold Schwarzenegger comes to the house whose name is Rottmeyer here.
Rottmeyer. Emil Rottmeyer.
Rottmeyer tells them that if anyone moves ahead, then he will be responsible for his condition, so leave from there.
Last time. Back away.
Then everyone leaves from there. Then Rottmeyer asks Breslin about someone, and Breslin says he doesn't. Rottmeyer again asked, have you ever been in jail before? Breslin asks, why are you asking many questions? And Rottmeyer replies, I learn this way. Breslin says to change your learning style. Then everyone goes to their cells. Breslin was observing everything, and he saw an isolation area. When everyone is downstairs, he says absolutely that I want to go to that isolation
I need to get into the isolation area.
place and attack him. There is a fight between these two at the same place, and then Warden says to put both of them in a box.
Put them in the box, now.
In that isolation place where Breslin wanted to go. There are so many lights, they can't even open their eyes. And these lights are here because it's a punishment room. The next morning when the doctor was here, Breslin tries to ask the doctor which place is this.
Where is here?
But the doctor does not say anything. The guard sees that they are talking to each other. He asks the doctor, and he lies, that Breslin asks how dehydrated is my body, and Ray understands. This doctor is a good person, but it is almost impossible to escape from this prison, because Breslin would have written a book which he had written based on his experience after escaping from the last 14 jails. This prison would have been made with the reference to the same book, because everything is written in the book as to what things were escaped and what mistakes were made in which jail. And that is why this jail is made in such a way that anyone can't run away from here. From the book kept in the warden's room, which he has written himself, now both of them are thrown out. The next day, he says to Rottmeier that if I can get 3 inches more piece of metal, then maybe I'll take you out of this jail. And then Rottmeier says that he'll bring the metal piece.
Head to Home Depot, and I'll be right back, okay?
Warden Hobbs calls him to his room because they want to know Victor's address from him. After all, he used to work for Victor. Hobbs tortures him, but he doesn't give him Victor's address. And before they take him out of there, he picks up the piece of metal from the warden's room, as Breslin said, and gives the piece to him and asks, "Now tell me about yourself." Rottmeier wanted to know about Breslin and told him that if you do one thing for me, then I would tell you everything true about myself. He said that jailbreaking had been my profession for the last 4 years. The warden here had used my records and my experience to build this prison.
I think Hobbs used my reports to make this place unbreakable.
So that no one can break it and run away. I thought this was a project. But there was a setup, and these people want to kill me right here. I don't know who is behind all this, but I will find out and tell him that you have to divert their attention once again. Rottmeier asked what I had to do. Breslin told him to get back to the lights box again. He refuses because they torture them very much. Breslin says that if you want to get out of here, you have to do it. Rottmeier says then it's fine. But if I don't get out of this jail, then I will kill you to this jail. Breslin says it's a deal. I tell you what things we have to keep in mind to come out of anything. Number 1, layout. Number 2, routine. Number 3, hell. And we don't have these 3 things here. Breslin said that at the isolated box, I saw some small river there. He also says that the entire structure is vertical. There is a rule in vertical structure that the path that goes down also goes up. Rottmeier said that even if we go inside the box, how will we cut those rivets that are there? Breslin says that we do not need to cut this place. It is on the seashore because there is too much moisture in the air. And when we are in that isolation place inside the box, then we should put it in front of the light and replicate it to rivets so that that will come back its own. Because the person who installed the rivets, he should install the aluminum rivets, but he installed the steel rivets, and steel catch the rust and get hot very fast. Breslin saw these things last time. Now they have a plan. Breslin told him that he had to distract the attention of all the committee members watching on the CCTV camera. Only then did it reach higher, and I know where we are as far as I am concerned. It is estimated that it will be near some small town because water supply is required. In this prison, a prisoner named starts with Javed. He starts saying upside down, and they start fighting between the Javed people versus Breslin and Kottmeyer. At that moment, guards came in and put all of them inside separate boxes. When there was a light burning, Breslin took off the piece of metal and put the light reflection to steel, and it gets hot and got out all the rivets, but he couldn't open it because the guard was watching him. He repeats in such a way that no one knows about the camera, and now he signals to meet his friend, and as per the plan, they start shouting and screaming there. He does this so that all the people on the CCTV camera get the attention of Rottmeier, and taking advantage of this, he places a tissue paper over the camera, due to which no one can see the box now, by opening the lid and placing it, and starts subscribing to the pipe at the top. One pipe breaks, causing water to come out, but somehow it reaches the top, and when it comes out, it becomes completely clear that there is nothing except the sea. And this prison is inside a very big water ship, and one cannot even think to jump in the water because jumping equally to death. Ray does not know anything about where the Earth will be found in this big ocean. Whatever there are guards also, he gets released and quickly starts moving back down because he has to get back into his box anyway, and when he gets further down, he falls from the top. But if the water pipe breaks, water starts filling there. That is why he does not get hurt. If he falls and all the boxes inside which the prisoners are kept, water starts filling there too. Warden, take them out. And before he opens the door of the Breslin box, He reaches there and puts the lid on it and also does 1 or 2 repeats. Here, the paper tissue paper that he had placed on top of the camera, and now Breslin is thrown out of here. After removing him, the warden of this place, whose name is Hobbs, asks the guards where the problem is and how the water gets filled inside. He says inside below box 2, there is an entry here, and he does not know that the Breslin was very famous. When he goes inside number 2, there they find some repeats. But the guard used to believe that maybe this wear out because of water pressure. Hobbs says this could happen.
Snaps will clean off.
Other sides, Breslin's team was worried about him. Also, the lawyer from the FBI who gave the 2.5 million shock also bounced. They talked to Clark about how he has hired someone, but till now there is no news. He calls the warden and told him about Breslin. Also, and many countries are giving money to this jail, and if he is there and cannot get out of there, then it is proof that no one can come out of this jail. Clark also told Hobbs that a man who worked with Victor, if he told us about Victor, we could get money from bigger banks.
There's one more thing. The Chinese banks.
Because he made a program by which he will change the entire World Bank, and just Rottmeyer could tell us where is Victor. Get this information from him at any cost. Warden says that he changes because of Breslin. Then Clark says he should be punished, but here it is revealed that Clark is trapped by Breslin. He is with them, who has created this prison by colluding with those people. Breslin staying here means that no one can escape from the jail. After this, a lot of torture starts happening here, due to which he completely breaks down and he removes the thought of getting out of here from his mind. He knows if he reaches the top, then it is impossible to get out of here because it is in the middle of the ocean. And one does not even know who is around. He says that earlier, I was a liar. I had punished a criminal, and he wanted to take revenge from me. He was determined, and he killed my family, and I understood that it is not enough to just get the culprit punished, but also to ensure that the place where he lives is safe. Rottmeyer says I have also a daughter. You have to do this. You have to get out of this thing so that you can catch those people who had trapped you. Once again, the feeling of running away from here arises inside the Breslin. All the guards here have masks on their faces, so it is impossible to identify them. Breslin and Rottmeyer now start identifying them by their movements. They give their names, but still, the most important task is that they have to find out where they are at this moment. Breslin says that he has to meet the doctor, and Rottmeyer injures his leg. Breslin goes to the doctor. He asks the doctor, "You have to tell us what is happening here. You know everything." But the doctor didn't say anything. He stole some things from there, and he made a device, and through it, they can find out our location. For this, we have to go to the top, and with the help of constant stars, we can find out where we are exactly. But then a guard comes, which hurts Breslin also because he has seen both of them talking, and he takes him away from there. After that, Warden says that I have done tight security by reading your book. Breslin tells him to leave himself. Then the Warden says, we got money because of you. Then Breslin tells him that he'll tell them Victor's address. Then Warden agrees. After that, some days, Breslin gives them fake news about Victor. Breslin told Kotlayer, the device I made from which the location can be detected. You will give it to Javed. No one will ever doubt Javed. Because Javed and he have fought with each other many times. But still, he goes to Javed and tells him to run away from here. He offers Javed, and he joins them. Javed goes to Warden Hobbs, and he says, I know that. Rottmeyer and Anthony are planning to escape from here. Warden asks the plan, and Javed comes out with a condition that he wants to pray Namaj under the open sky. Warden Hobbs agrees to it and gives him permission to do so. And when he is up under the open sky, he looks at the position of the constant star. Marks the paper accordingly, and from this Breslin comes to know that this is in the Atlantic Ocean, and the shape of these is around Morocco, that there is a man nearby and he will definitely help us. But the biggest problem is that how will we get the information to him? It remains that we will have to go to the doctor. He goes to the doctor, and in this way, he convinces him to help him. Now, Hobbs keeps an eye on the scalp completely. He saw that Breslin was tapping a pen. Then he took out the book of Breslin and found that he was sending a message to someone. Then he got to know that there had been a fight since yesterday. And he understood that he should try to escape at that moment. On the other hand, the doctor is also here as a prisoner. Breslin requests him he tell the location of that person. Also told the time that in this time, you have to reach here. Now at Cell C, where will the fight hold? Hobbs makes them triple security there and ask everyone for information. But the fight starts at Cell A, not Cell C. They plan to take advantage of this. Breslin, Rottmeyer, and Javed started going up from there, and before it could get out, it screwed it inside. Breslin already breaks the cameras, but then also Hobbs knows where are they going because of the motion detector. The guards find them and fire them. In the firing, Javed got injured. Breslin turns off the motion detector, and now no one knows where they are. Breslin told me that the way to open the lock to get out of here was to turn off the engine. But for this, we have to get out in 6 seconds. Then Rottmeyer says that you could not get out inside 6. Then Breslin said that I always have plan B, and now they are trying to get out from the top.
Just give me your gun.
But Javed cannot go with them because he is shot by a gun, and then he attacks on the guards. But it counterattacks, Javed got killed. Ray stops the engine. The helicopter also came because it had to come at 5 p.m. Everyone getting fire from the helicopter Cotmayer somehow reaches the helicopter. But Breslin is still there. Warden Hobbs also came there, and he said you can scream and shout, but get out of here. And then only the power is turned on of the ship, and it is hidden inside a tank where the water starts filling. It was a stabilizer tank, and when it was filled, then it started pouring water from the bottom to the outside. Hobbs understands that Breslin is in the tank, but he can't do anything, and just like it completely pulls the water down. Then Rottmeyer saw Breslin and sent the stairs and pulled Brine up. Suddenly, Hobbs starts firing them. Rottmeyer gets injured. Then Breslin also shoots the bullets to the oil tank. And a big blast happens there. For the blast, Hobbs dies. And both of them escape from where completely impossible to escape. They go to a beach where Breslin meets the lawyer. Her name is Jessica Miller. She was Rottmeyer's daughter, and she revealed that Rottmeyer is the real victor. Rottmeyer was a kind of code from whom his people come to that where he is. Also, side by side, Breslin's name is a code. That's why when Victor knows the code name of Breslin, he wants to do friendship with him. Here, Breslin knows that the main task was Victor. He has to come out with Victor. The warden asked about Victor, the real Victor. The partner named Clark knows everything, but he shakes his hand with the prison people. Another day, a piece of news comes from the newspaper that an illegal for-profit prison operation uncovered. Then the lady friend of Breslin told that Clark sold himself to them. He became the CEO of the company to which he belonged, and he got $5 million. It is shown that Clark sits in his car, and the Breslin man is already sitting in his car. He says to Clark that it is time to sleep and makes him unconscious. When he opened his eyes, he was in a dark, small room. He shouted loudly, and then from a distance showing that he was inside of a cargo ship's container and no one knew where this ship was going and what time it would take. And also, no one knows if this container will ever open or not. This movie ends here. If you enjoy the video, please subscribe to my channel. Thanks.